put out a poll on YouTube asking you guys which game you'd like me to go with next. And of the 4 options, over 60% of you said Software Incorporated. Now, a lot of you wanted me to do this whole like super hard, impossible run thing, but like I looked into it and guys, I just don't see it as fun. And I want to have fun with this game. And I don't want to have to metagame or use any gimmicks and stock market nonsense to survive. So in this series, I'm going to have difficulty, but I'm going to do that difficulty and add it in a way that's more realistic and doesn't require a lot of gimmicks or meta gameplay to make it work. Just good old-fashioned hard work and smart decision making, like I always do, of course. So we'll have higher difficulty thanks to a couple of mods, and we'll have a lot of fun. It's gonna make things interesting consistently throughout and not just in the very beginning like Impossible does, okay? Let's get into it. The mods we're gonna be using for this, there aren't very many. We have Madhouse Overhaul. This is a comprehensive difficulty and content overhaul. More AI competitors, consistently adding a huge saturated market for products. That's gonna make it hard to enter. We have new software types that are being added, as well as higher server costs, longer development times, and also real company and product names have been added into the game. Now, those products are not necessarily married to the companies that normally make them in real life, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of shenanigans end up happening there. We also have new revenue scripts. This is built for players who want a tougher, more competitive game. That's what the mod says anyway, and we're gonna explore that here. Then, for the first time ever for me playing Software Incorporated, which the last time I played was like 5 years ago, so admittedly I don't have that much experience, I'm actually going to get into games. Normally, I'm like Adobe, sort of mixed with Apple in the end, and I just have this cohesive thing with a whole bunch of different software that merges together and works together. But this time I really want to get into games more. And so I've added Game Evolution. This is a mod that revolutionizes all game software, including the creation of game engines. And it changes a lot about how games are made, makes them much more deep, and I want to explore that with you guys today too. We also have a couple of code mods installed. This is Get Sued for Failing Deals. If we pick up a deal for development or design and we collect some of that money, but we don't deliver on it, these guys can sue us now for breach of contract. That's gonna be fun, or maybe not. We can fight it or just settle out of court with our service and law staff and stuff. The damages for that will be basically how much we've been paid plus 50%. That's how that's gonna go. And then some of you guys know that when I play games on this channel, I usually have a notepad. I have some notes that I take on another monitor here next to me. And this is because there's big stretches of time where I, can't play games, and I want things to be seamless if you're binging the series later. So I don't want you to know from video to video that I haven't played in a week or two, unless I, somehow divulge that. Anyways, Mindscape is the final mod I'm adding here. And this is an in-game notepad that's going to let me take my notes in-game instead of doing it on my other monitor. So you guys might be able to see it. There's also some extra furniture, some extra kitchen equipment and stuff I've added, but otherwise, those are the mods. So let's get started. We're going to go to the new game. And right away, we're going to head on over to medium difficulty. And I'm going to show you just really quickly the differences. So this is Impossible. You can save that if you can pause the video, whatever you want to do. But basically, it disables contracts, deals, loans, publisher. And honestly, these are huge parts of the game, and I want to explore those parts of the game. It's a real life stuff is in this, and I want to be able to have those available to me. Basically, you have to metagame this. This is like you either get the stock market in your favor or you just fail and you have to re-roll. That's not the kind of game I want to play, so we're not going to do Impossible. What I am going to do, though, is Very Hard. Very Hard is mostly the same thing. It just allows you to use those functions in the game, and I like that. We're going to have initial market recognition, or it's going to be very important, and also the effects of market recognition on sales is going to be very high. That's an important thing because if you're really well known for something, it's going to be harder to beat you in the market. So we want to get really high well known, but that's going to be made more difficult because Madhouse Overhaul is going to change a lot about the dynamics of the market. It's going to make way more competitors and it's going to be way more saturated. So a lot of other companies are well known for things. We need to figure out how to penetrate those markets if we want to play the game. And then Game Evolution, when I turn this on, you can see the stats at the bottom here: system, 3D, audio, hardware. These things are 4 things that we can add points into, but when I add Game Evolution, we get a 5th architecture. So something else to take a look at there. Okay, with very hard, we start with no money. So we're going to have to be $90,000 in debt is what I'm going to do. $90,000 in debt at the beginning. Okay, so our company name here, I'm going to call it Char Inc. And let's get a logo done here. I think we actually kind of like that other one here, but I'm not really sure. How about this one? That seems fine. I do want to get rid of the green, though. Let's maybe change that to like a blue color. All of the green. Anything that's green, let's go like a bluer color here. Maybe we can leave the front logo in there, you know? Cool. I think we'll leave that part green. Nah, like a bright blue is fine. I like this. It's like a little gold mixed into it too. That's neat. I like that too. Actually, go back to that darker color. You know what? Let's leave that darker color. That's our logo. I'd love to put my actual channel logo in here, but the game won't let me do it. So it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and load my character here. Let's load myself. There we are. Hello. I've already pre-designed it, so I've gone through all those steps for you. Personality, I'm just going to leave it optimistic and goofy. That's what it was at the start, and I'm just going to leave it. I'm not sure what the best combinations or whatever are, so I'm just going to leave this alone. And then we have various different traits that are down here. Some of them are good, some of them are kind of neutral and offer trade-offs, and then some of them are just bad. If you choose 2 good traits, you have to choose 2 bad traits. I have fast learner. I think this is going to be very helpful for me. And I have capacitor. Some of these are really good, like RGB thumb. So no more repairing. I don't have to pay for the IT guy to come out and fix my computer. So that's neat, but they have like diminishing returns. The longer you play, the less this matters. And I think these types of things here are going to matter longer. So I'm going to grab these 2. And then to counteract those, I got some smelliness to me. Probably don't want to be in an elevator with me. And then also I walk very slow. I'm not in very good shape. Okay. That takes care of that stuff. I'm trying to zip through it. So we have all this stuff is done. And then the final bit here is the points down here. Now, if you up your creativity, this is an innate skill. You cannot train this. You have it or you don't. You can be a visionary, which are pretty rare in the game. And it's usually recommended if you know what you're doing to start like this, because there's lots of benefits to that. I'm going to go to inspiring though. Our focus, normally, like I said, I go 2D editor, 3D editor, audio tools. I start being Adobe and then I shift into being Apple. I'm going to try to focus on games if I can. You'll notice there's some other interesting ones here that aren't normally in the game. That's being added by Game Evolution. Things like anti-cheat is in here, anti-piracy stuff, right? We also have artificial intelligence and cloud services added into the game from Madhouse and stuff. So lots of interesting things going on in here. I'm going to say games is where I want to be. And we are inspiring instead. This means I have to give myself a private office, and I'm going to take a little bit of, my character's going to take a little bit of royalties from me, okay? Let's go in and put some points in. We have 5 here for each one, and architecture's been added, but I'm not going to bother with architecture for now. So let's go system. I kind of want the boost and speed for that, and programming as well. Maybe not system. Maybe we get the boost here. This kind of means we're forsaking audio. Not sure how I feel about that one. I'm going to have to hire people that know audio, right? We're going to go 3 points in 2D. So we're going to slam 2D. We're going to be very good at this at the beginning. If you go 3 stars, you get a 15% speed boost in those departments there too. So anything related to 2D, we're going to crush it. System's going to be a little bit slower, but we're still going to be competent in it. Let's go to our leader traits. I'm going to put 2 in HR and 2 in multitasking. The 2 in multitasking is actually especially important. We have effectiveness with development tasks. So this is going to improve effectiveness for myself as well as everyone in my team. I want that too. And then for service, I'm just going to dump 2 points into support. I thought about doing accounting so I can do my own taxes and stuff. But then I thought, why do I want my super talented dude doing taxes when he could be making products for several months? So we're just going to hire some accountants. Eventually, they'll pay for themselves. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We got everything we need. One last thing to do then is to decide where we're playing. And I am going to deviate from the standard Garage Incorporated thing. I think I'm going to deviate from that. And we're going to start with an empty plot. I think I like that. And I like the idea of a populated city kind of being thing here. We got $50,000 in costs to start here though. So, that's dipping into my loan already. But we're going to have a really high talent pool. We're going to have access to a lot of people. and I like that too. So easier to form good teams because there's more people around. Plot cost is medium. All these things are here too. You can see those. Generation string. Let's go with for the founder. I like to use strings that you guys can see on screen and, you know, copy if you like to. It's easier to do that. So we're going to go like this. For the founder. You'll see why in a second. My dude is, he's a little narcissistic. So we're going to let that happen. Okay, let's go ahead and pause it really quick and check out where we are. Lots of buildings around. I do like that. Lots of buildings around. Trees over here. Some parking available on this side, but we have to obtain that, I think. And then we're starting here with the bus stop being right there. Okay, so our plot is currently 16 by 16 is what we start with, unless I'm mistaken. It has been 5 years, but I looked up a little bit of stuff here. So our plot is, 16 by 16. So I kind of have this idea of what I want things to look like. So I'm going to try and see about that. Well, first thing I like to do is look at the architecture around me. I know it's a little weird, but I like to look at what the buildings are made out of here. Do we have some concrete? Looks like there's a few brick buildings here. I like the old like downtown Detroit classic brick infrastructure or architecture, sorry. So I like that kind of thing. Looks like there's some concrete buildings, mostly concrete, not necessarily brick, but I might add another brick building to this. We'll see. We'll see how I like it. All right. So getting an idea of where I want things to be. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my founder's office kind of be back in here so that when we have the whole building built out, his office is kind of down in the center of everything. We could put it right on the corner and it's a little easier to access for now, but then you got to move it later and stuff. And I'm just going to stick it where it is. So let me just get a feel for this. Probably good with a 4x4 for our utility rooms. We have extra teams expansions. We want to have some walkways. I'm just kind of visualizing things and walking you through what I'm seeing through here. Maybe a reception area right out here in this area. Building will eventually be like this. So I'm thinking reception should be about here. Maybe just a little bit over. This is a lot of land here. I bet this is going to cost me a lot. This is $576,000 if I want to buy the rest of that land. Or I can buy it in installments and pay monthly, but yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I think what we'll do is this. Let's have the founders building. Utility goes here. Then we'll have 1, 2, 3. Just measuring things out in my head. Might when I have a way to do it visually. So right there. So here is where the founder's office is, I believe. And we should do probably a 3x3. That gives me plenty of space to put the things in that I want to put in. Okay, so let's get started with that. We're going to go like this. Let's make it daytime so I can kind of see things a little easier right now without necessarily putting lights in. There we go. And let's pick what we want our material to look like. I like this. It looks more modern, but like, look at the brick buildings in the background. I kind of feel like the brick building could look interesting, you know? This is going to be an interior room, so it doesn't really matter all that much. So why don't we leave the interior nice and, well, we'll just go from there. We might end up with a big gray building. We'll see. We can always change it later, too. Let's go also in the interior, speaking of changing it later, and let's have something like this. Seems pretty cool. For the inside, yeah, that's cool. I like it. All right, so here's what we want to do. I have marked a bunch of stuff that I'm going to use regularly as favorites, so that kind of moves it in the list. And I also have a bunch of stuff that's, I can scroll through. I'm going to have, I think, this adjustable desk in the founder's room. Basically never going to use these things because using these tables is all you really need. And actually using the glass table, which is what I'm going to use most often, that is helping environment scores. So probably going to use glass tables more than anything else usually. But for the time being, since this is my office, I'm going to have what I want, even if it doesn't give me benefits. So I'm going to place this, I think, facing that way. There we go. A nice adjustable desk. I'm not sure I can actually tell it to stand. which is unfortunate, but you know, it's a standing desk. This is similar to what I've got in front of me right now. Okay, so let's go in and add a couple of the key furniture that we're gonna need. Now, usually you don't want to use these bad chairs because they have bad ergonomics. Bad ergonomics leads to less effectiveness, so your guy's gonna work slower, he's not as comfortable. This one has neutral ergonomics and actually helps your environment. That's nice. For the founder though, initially, I want that speed bump. Beep boop? Yeah, beep boop. I want the speed bump. And I know it's more expensive. It's kind of wasteful, $2,000 chair, but it adds good ergonomics. And for the founder, he deserves it. So we're going to put ergonomics here. I would put it in the center typically. It would look better. But unfortunately, you cannot place the computer in the center of the desk. Where is it? It won't let me put the computer in the center of the desk. So it has to be on left or right. And I'm going to put it on the right here. There we go. Okay. Next thing to do then is to decorate our desk just a little bit maybe. So I'm going to use, I think probably we should use the inbox. There are phones, tablets, calculators. If you haven't seen the game before, I am going to do a little bit of explaining here, but I want to keep things moving along. We don't have a lot of time in this video here. So I'm going to be doing a lot of things, jack of all trades sorts of things. And so I'm going to actually have this inbox here. I think the founder should have that, probably is what I'm going to do. Also, this little bonsai plant, you know, this little bonsai tree, we should put that right on the desk. That's neat. All right, let's do that. All right, in this room, we want to have everything that we can do to help with comfort and stuff. So let's put a big carpet in here. That's going to help. We want to have maybe a plant behind me. There we go. And then we need some things that increase effectiveness. A couple of tools we can use. One, clock. Clock increases effectiveness. So let's maybe we'll place the clock on the wall behind me here. That's fine. And then, I mean, I could realistically do it there, but I'm going to be checking the time all the time. I got to have it behind me just to do it. So we'll do that. The next thing is the bookshelf. This boosts the skill of the person working in here, or everyone working in here for that matter. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Eventually, the fire department is going to yell at me if I don't have fire alarms in any room that has flammable things. So we're going to place a fire detector there, and we're going to put a sprinkler here. Also, this is not where the sprinkler is going to go. It's going to go maybe closer to the door, something like that, because in the center of the room, I do want a light. So we're going to place a light here. Real simple light, doesn't have to be complicated. Next, couple of things. I need to have heating and cooling. So electric radiator for now, it's $260 a month for each of these things. We're going to transition to using the regular radiators and central heating as soon as we get to the point where my number of radiators, the cost equals greater than central heating, basically. So we're going to take, let's put the radiator right by the desk. Why not? Yeah, I like that. And then we'll need our, oh, this is a new thing that exists since the last time I played. At the start of beta 1 when it first came out. They have added trash now, so we have to manage trash in the game. Fun! Looking forward to that. I'm going to place this garbage bin. I wish I could put it under the desk, but it looks like I can put it right beside the desk. Maybe we'll flip it this way and just pretend it's under the desk. There we go. Little trash bin there. I suppose I probably could also just fit it behind me. It is the founder's office after all. That's fine. Next, I want to have, I think for now, a window. I've been thinking about it, and I think a window right here for the bonsai tree and stuff makes a lot of sense. So we're just going to place that right there. Next, air conditioning. So instead of having central air, we've got a room, a single AC unit that can pop in over here. This produces noise as well. So I do want it to be a little bit away from my chair. So that's why the chair is here and not there. So there we go. So now this has proper ventilation. We've got air conditioning, we've got heating, we've got the clocks, the bookshelf, I've got fire stuff. Last thing, and this is a rule in my office anyway. All places where people work must have a clear view of the founder. Now, what does that mean? For the founder. Everything is done for the founder. Think of it like Severance, right? The cult, like a cult following here. So we normally have these images that you can place, these little paintings, right? And these are, you can place them all over the offices and stuff, but the game only gives you 3 options. It's kind of meh. So they also give you this one. It has the exact same environment and mood boost, but it costs $100 more. So it's double the cost. But the cool part about this one is that you can put your own images in the game. So I've gone through my computer real briefly. It took like 10 minutes to find a bunch of images that I've created or have shot in the past, from portraits of, past images of myself, channel logos, our XCOM recruitment poster, my old Hot Tips logo, etc., to travel photos that I've taken from different landscapes and different places that I've traveled in. So we've got pictures from Indonesia, we've got pictures from Cuba, my time in Havana here, I've got a baseball photo here, Indonesia is over here, this is the beach in Da Nang. There's all sorts of things, right? I've even got one of my engagement photos. Okay, so I've got some things that can spice up rooms, and I'll probably add some more as we go. But these are things, and all people must have a clear view of the founder. So there we go. It's a very massive, quite a big picture. So there we go. He's even narcissistic enough to have this picture in his own office. All right. So I think that's all I need for the start today. Yeah, I think that's all I need to start the day. So Founder's going to be working in here. So the next thing we want to do is figure out what we're going to do for money. So a couple of things before he gets in. I need to do 2 things. First, I'm going to go into Teams and I'm going to change his departure time to 6 p.m. He can work a 10-hour day. He's really involved in the company. He can do that. Second thing I want to do is I need to add the leader role to him. When you give the leader role, even in a 1-person team, you get all the leader bonuses added to yourself as well. So he's going to be faster at everything with this as well. And then I'm going to have maybe this be a secondary thing, but he'll do that. It's fine. So now we're getting the leader bonuses for him in addition to everything else. And just to recap, the leader bonus for multitasking is what I'm looking for here, which just improves the effectiveness of development tasks, not just support and marketing tasks. It's development tasks. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. He's going to be really quick at things. What's he going to be doing first? Well, I'm in debt, and I don't like being in debt. I'm going to have to get out of debt. So my tiny little shack here is a workspace for us to get out of debt. We're going to open up contracts really quick, and we're going to get looking at what contracts are available. And right now, they're all easy. We have a 1-star business reputation and absolutely no market recognition at all. So it's going to be hard to get into anything. We can help that by getting some money, building out a team, working out some deals, and ultimately gaining reputation in the things that we want to do by doing deals for other people and moving around. So we're going to be working at that. Here's game assets. Should be good for that. Let's go ahead and accept that. We've got game assets here too. I think maybe we get started on the game assets first. They should be quite fast. And then this graphics also for this physical motor. Now, every single one of these contracts has an expected quality. And initially, it's bad, horrible. They're not looking for anything, right? They're not expecting anything. I'm not that good. So we're going to take, I think actually we'll just go ahead and take all of them. I think we can probably do all of them today. But we're going to want to make sure that we're limiting how many we're doing at once. So to do that, I'm going to go into my teams really quick, and I'm just going to say that core team, which is just me, you're allowed to do 2 at once. And then I'll go ahead and turn on the timer. So as he arrives at 8 a.m., there he is, slow walker. Oh man, is he slow. Oh yeah, that's going to be a problem later. At least in the very beginning of the day. But the good news is the founder doesn't need a bathroom. He doesn't need to go eat or have a break or anything like that. He doesn't need that stuff. So he's really no reason to leave this chair. So that's good. He's going to work on these 2 things at once. He's not going to work on all of them because his team is limited to only 2 at once. Now, because these things need to be bad, we don't need to do a lot of design time on these. So you see how the progress bar is kind of filling up with colors. This is an iteration for design. It's going to fill up once, then twice, 3, 4. And the more iterations we allow it to do, the higher quality it will be. But we don't need high quality here. So we're going to hit develop. And both of them. Let the time run a little bit. And once it gets to this blue line, you've developed it sufficiently enough to meet the standards that client wants. Or at least the expectations. So we'll go ahead and finish that. promote that, finish it. And then as we get through here and as we promote things like this, we're going to start getting our reputation up a little higher. That's great. There we go. I actually left that as like finished a little bit too long. But sometimes we're going to get outstanding quality here. And that outstanding quality is going to boost this star faster. And that's what I want to do. So some of these, I can let them kind of go a little bit longer. All right. Because I lingered there, it didn't get all of them done today, but that's fine. So today we made enough money at least to have 73,000 in the bank. 73,000 is unfortunately not 90,000, so we are still in debt. If I go to my accounting, no, we go to our loans, this window. We have to pay off the $90,000 principal. So when we get to 90K, we're gonna hit that button. All right, it's a new day. Let's check out what we have for contracts out there. We should be able to finish these up very quickly. We have 4. And they're all very easy again. So we're just going to accept all of these. We can easily hit the deadline for them. We're, of course, going to be working on these and only these because we're only allowed 2 at once. There we go. We'll promote that, finish it. Promote that, finish it. There we go. Develop and promote that, finish it. Develop. And we want to develop that one too. Promote that, finish it. Promote, finish. And develop and finish. Now we'll let this one go a little bit because it's the last one of the day. And done. Inadequate quality. But we have $125,000 now. So let's go over to the loans and pay off the loan. We're not paying interest anymore. We saved nearly $60,000 in interest. Lovely. So we have a little bit more financial freedom now. This is great. As we get more money, though, we're going to want to start expanding our office a bit more and get ready to hire new employees to help us because some of these contracts, not these ones are still horrible. Once you get to 2 stars, these things start to get a little more challenging. But until the 2-star happens, that's not really a thing. So why don't we accept these 4 and we'll let the design happen just a little bit more developed here, right? So I'm going to pause this one. I have to pause all of them, don't I? It's fine. We're going to let this develop a little bit more. There we go. Now we'll promote that. Let's go ahead and lock this one. And we're just going to basically give them a higher quality product, essentially is what I'm doing. So outstanding quality. That boosts my reputation faster by doing that. So I'm just kind of letting this design work happen a little bit more developed here. Let's go ahead and do that. And just a little bit more developed here. Promote that one, finish. There we go. And he goes home for the day, and that's okay. We didn't do as many, but now I really want to boost the stars is what I'm looking for here. All right, so we're looking at this one. These are still expecting poor quality stuff. So why don't we just bang these out as well? Just keeping an eye on how we balance development time and design and all those things. There we go. Promote this one, finish it. And we have a full 2 stars. Easy now. Yep. So a full 2 stars. We should start seeing better contracts at this point. So let me just go back to the next day, pause it really quick. And we now have some manufacturing contracts showing up. Now we don't want these. These ones require manufacturing. We need hardware stuff, right? Like factories and stuff. And we're not nearly ready for that. We could, I guess, work these contracts over and over again until like the end of the year. And we'd probably save up $500-600 grand. And then we can invest it in a factory and start maybe supporting. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So we're going to filter this to software only so that I never see those again. And then checking these really quick, we're starting to get stuff like this. So this game assets one is going to pay more than the others did, but it's starting to recommend having more than one artist, for example, more than one designer. This is where our team starts to slow down, or things like that start to slow down. So we're going to accept these 3 that don't require the 2, and we should be able to bang out all of these. And if we do this kind of sloppy, we might be able to get this other one here. I might be able to. Let's see. If I just kind of develop these really quick, let that go, promote that, finish it, promote that, finish it, develop that. Okay, this is midday. Midday, maybe we can do this. Let's go ahead and have that added, and we'll just have that be what he's focusing on entirely. Now, notice how it's going a lot slower now. There's a lot more work to do here, so progressing this contract is more difficult. And that's why it recommends having more than one person. We're almost to 3 stars, which is nice. I think the requirements for this one are a little bit more strict too. So this one wants mediocre quality. So in addition to taking more work, DigitalOcean would like us to also have it be a little bit better. Now, DigitalOcean is, of course, a company that exists in the real world. We need things cleaned up in our office too. I don't know if this affects the founder's pacing. I'm not sure if it affects the founder. We're going to call it cleaning anyway. They're going to charge me $300 an hour, which in this case is just $300. Let's take a look at the markets here, right? I said we have a lot more saturation and everything, right? So here are all the companies that exist. This isn't really all that different than a standard Software Incorporated list of companies, but many more companies are going to enter the market. And the thing to take from this, though, really is the software. If we go to type, we have a lot of players in every game. So many games made, office software, operating systems, only a few game engines, surprisingly, but game engines are quite difficult to make now with the new gaming overhaul. We have audio tools, we have antivirus, anti-piracy, anti-cheat. These 2 things are new. Anti-piracy to help people from stealing your stuff, right? Might need some anti-piracy stuff in there to help make it more difficult because they'll try and steal it now. And then we have anti-cheat stuff. This is more or less something we would want to do for like online games mostly, but this is an option for gaming stuff. And then we have 15 2D editors or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I might have miscounted, could be 16. Either way, a lot more saturation in the market, and this is only going to accelerate as we go. Now, I have one other rule I'm going to slip in here. With impossible difficulty, you basically have to play the stock market. So, if we go to, not this, we go to, where is it? I guess all companies, right? If we list them in the order in which they were founded, we have somebody who was newly founded in January 1980. That's me, by the way. We have Adobe, Basecamp, Salesforce, Personas, Steinberg. We've got Firaxis Games. We've got Autodesk, all sorts of stuff. Spotify's over here, Raspberry Pi Foundation. All of these guys are companies that actually exist in the world. These names, you recognize these, but they don't necessarily make the same products as they do in real life. That's kind of been somewhat randomized. Let's see if Firaxis Games actually makes games. They do. Planet Coaster and Let's School are names of real games, not necessarily made by Firaxis. We have, Seraph, let's say Personas, for example. Personas is currently making an audio tool and 2 2D editors, including Canva 2. Okay, so we have that. If we take a look at Adobe, do they make Photoshop? They make LunaPic. I guess that's kind of the same. Yeah, I mean, it's the same category as Photoshop, I suppose. So that's not bad. Some of these guys are actually going to make what they actually make in real life. That's neat. 11-Bit Studios. What are you guys making? Games. Okay. I was playtesting this really briefly, and I was getting Larian Studios owning Steam and raising the price of Steam. Actually, let's check that really quick. So there's also digital distribution. We have 4 digital distribution people already, and they have really great market. The market's super saturated. There's 100% for everybody here. We've got the Xbox Games Store and the GOG and GOG.com. Xbox Games owned by Next, and the Snap Store owned by Valve. GOG.com is actually owned by Fearless Games. Okay, right? But surprisingly, though, these are fairly close. They're digital distribution platforms are actually, digital distribution platforms. So cool. Maybe it was just a fluke during my testing then. It's nice. So real companies making real things, not necessarily the same things that company normally makes. And you pretty much have to play the stock market in impossible difficulty. So if I wanted to say go over and buy one of the newer companies, right? So let's say I wanted to purchase stock in Adobe. They've got 2.8% of their company listed for sale, and they're not worth a whole lot yet. But, they have their product here, Lunapic, came out pretty recently and got a lot of active users, probably really profitable for them. So if I take a look at their chart, their profits are going up. Now, typically you would want to go, okay, cool, they're making money. I can just, go over here and I can buy some of their stock. And I might spend, let's say $100,000 now because I have it. I might have $100,000 and buy their stock. And it's going to go up. Pretty much, this is the reason why I'm not doing this, is pretty much most companies that are founded with like one product, brand new, you put money in them, you will make money. It's like, it's a cheat code almost. It's very, very easy. And with the way this game is, I don't want to play impossible because you're basically just doing that all the time. And it's not the kind of game I want to play. So my hard limit, the thing I'm doing is that I have to invest 100% of my money into my own company to grow my own stuff all the way up until at least 1990. I want the first decade to be entirely my own investments in my own stuff. I think I will probably end up pushing that to 2000. But right now, we're not doing any investments or stock trading until 1990 at the earliest. So I like that for myself. You can do it how you want it. I'm going to do it that way. Let's add this work. This is a fairly easy one too. Should be able to handle that one today. And we should be able to handle that one today as well. And this one too. Cool. So we can do all of these now, as long as we can get the designing on this one done. And I think this one is probably designed well enough now. We need to deliver it this month. So we're going to have that be a higher priority. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and pause these because I can do these anytime. I want to make sure this one gets out today. So let's go ahead and do that. And that needed a little bit of time, didn't it? It needs to be mediocre quality is what they wanted, but yeah, I think we're all right now. I can promote this and there's no bugs to fix because it's a graphics thing. So we do it with inadequate quality, but it ends up being a fulfilled contract regardless. And if we can satisfy the requirements for their quality, we can get reputation for that. So we didn't quite get the 3-star reputation there, unfortunately. Let's go to the next day. We're at least getting the money, right? And that's the important thing. So what we want to do with this $143,000, right? Well, what I would like to do is start building out my building to get ready for, having more people join my team is what I want. Now, these all have to be done today, so I have to do this now. Hang on. Wow, that's not going to happen. So this is the part where you start losing reputation, right? So we need to develop this and I think just release it as is. It's not going to be done, but we're going to do it anyway, and we might lose inadequate quality. So it wasn't horrible anyway, and we must have had some good design time, but we didn't lose any reputation on those, although I kind of feel like we should have. Okay, so with $165,000, before this video ends, because it's getting a little long, I admit, but we'll try to see what we can do. I want to advance. I want to build out some stuff here. So preparing for new people. Let's kind of visualize where I want things here. I'm going to have a hallway. Probably goes all the way to the end, I think. Normally, I would say let's leave some grass. And if I can get away with that, maybe I will. But I probably can't with the layout the way I want it at this point because I'm kind of locked into this. So, for example, I want a hallway here that goes up this way. And I want a hallway through here. And with that being done, we've got a 4x4 area. I would like to have desks in here, probably 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't have enough room for... Ooh. I kind of need to move the founder's office. I need to move his office. Can I move the whole office? Ooh, okay. Tell you what I need to do here. Because I think his office is 1 tile over. I thought I needed this extra space, but I don't. When I made this, I thought the air conditioner needed to be over my tile, but I actually don't think it needs that now. I'm going to move this to here for now, just so I don't have to like sell it for less money than I bought it for and then reapply it. Let's move the wall. And then I want to shift everything in the room one tile over. So we're just going to copy, move the furniture one tile over like so. Yep. And then we're going to also replace the door. So that door becomes the door there instead. Yes. Now the radiator needs to be on a wall anyway, and so does the clock. So we'll just put that over here. Yes. Okay. I think it's costing me money, but we're going to do it. We're going to have it be about like this instead. That's where I want this founder's office to be. All the way on the edge here. I left this gap intentionally, but this is where I wanted to be now. Let's go ahead and have this clock restored back to the room where it was. The radiator needs to be returned in the room. There we go. Everything is good now, I think. No, the air conditioner. The air conditioner was deleted anyway, wasn't it? Yeah. That sucks. All right. Well, we'll have to restore it. So let's come back over to utilities, and AC unit will be in the window over like so. This should be fine now. Not accessible from the outside. Well, yeah, because I made the hallway, so that'll get fixed too. But now I can go desk, 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 and still have a 4x4 area. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm going to have this to here is going to be another office that we're going to be able to use. Okay, we have $101,000 left. This is going to be my utility room right here. So I will need to have this whole thing go all the way to the edge. So we're not going to have any grass on this side. And to be honest, it probably won't happen anyway. Like the entrance will be a grassy place, but probably the rest of this will be covered with like a building. We'll see. I might be able to do like some kind of like central courtyard around it and have the building kind of wrap around the central courtyard, but that's not really part of my design plan in my head right now, but maybe we'll incorporate it. Okay, so why are we building these, right? Well, to expand my team, we need things that the founder doesn't need, right? We need bathrooms. They need a place to go. We need a break room, a place to eat. We need a place where they can congregate, things like that. And so we have all of these hallways and stuff too. Let's temporarily add a door that's going to be here and here. This is a permanent door. This one's temporary. Let's go ahead and just make this for now. Everything can be like this for now. We can change it later, but for now, it's like that. So the whole building looks the same. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this room is going to be a development room, and I think I'm trying to manipulate the light, but I think probably better just to put lights in. So I want to remove this wall. So this is a big hallway. And then on this side, we're going to do two things. One is we're going to split that. This is where our door can be. I think so. We're going to have a couple of doors here. First, where's my white door? Right here. We're going to have a door here and a door there with the handle that direction. Sure. Next, we're going to get bathrooms. So this is going to be a bathroom. I'll probably need to make this 2 bathrooms, but for now, I'm going to make it 1 with a plant inside it. Something like that. And then we need a light. Maybe in the center like that. Okay, that should be good. I don't believe we need a smoke detector or a sprinkler in here for the fire department, but if we do and I'm wrong, then so be it. We have the smoke detector in here. Probably not anymore. If I had it already, I moved the wall, so probably not. Let's go ahead and do all that stuff now too. So fire stuff. We need a fire alarm. We'll put it there. We also need another one in this room too, so we'll put that one here. There, yep. We're also going to need, I guess I'll just put one in the hallway. That's fine too. And then we're going to need one in this room, our utility room for sure. So there. I've got smoke detectors in every room. Let's make sure we also get the sprinklers there. Probably put one in the middle here and then put one in this room. This room already has one. There it is. Did I already have a smoke alarm? I put the sprinkler, but not the smoke alarm. It's got to be the replacement of the doors and stuff that did it. And then I'll just place one in the hallway. I don't think I need it, but we'll do it anyway. All right, everything is placed in here. We want a very simple light in this room, as close to the door as possible. Probably as this is fine because we need all the space I can get here for utilities. And then we have this office, which is going to get these hanging lamps, these thin hanging lamps add to the environment. They're very bright and very expensive, but I kind of only need one in this room. So we're just going to have one about here, I think, right in the middle. And that brings me to 400 lux, which is the maximum lighting for the room. Yeah. Hallway currently has an 81 score environment and also not enough lighting. It's 200 lux. So we'll have to do something with that. Let's have another light in the hallway. We can put one down the hallway about like this, let's say. And again, very bright light. This is not a fully lit room, so we're probably going to want to add another one eventually at some point here. But for now, the hallway is dimly lit, and that's okay with me. This room is going to be how we expand our core team. So we want the same stuff we did with here when it comes to enhancing their capabilities. We're going to want the clock, for example. That needs to be in here. The bookcase. Desk, bookcase. We're going to want the picture of the founder, obviously, because you can't go in any room where people are working without seeing, I'm watching you. Always watching Wazowski right here. If I have somebody who's named Wazowski, that would be sick, and I'll probably try to get a different picture here just for that reason. All right. So instead of these tables that are $90 a piece, I'm going to use the glass tables because they add environment. They are more money, but I think they'll be worth it, especially when people start littering, because everybody's throwing trash everywhere now, right, in this game. We have old computers. We want to go ahead and place them on the desks like so. And then we're going to use these red executive chairs, adding some environment, but also just making sure that we're keeping the ergonomics neutral. It's $400. It's worth it over the $150 office chair that has bad ergonomics. So we're going to have that be the chairs we use for all of our current employees here. Then all of this stuff is going to make noise. They're not going to like that. So we're going to get these cubicle walls, which very, very small hurt the environment. They're definitely better than having noise. So we're going to go ahead and do something like that. And then finally, we need a trash bin in here. So the trash works by area of effect. It's highlighting the computers, therefore it works. I'm not a fan of how that works, but this is how they've chosen to do it in the game. So there we go. That's the garbage that will work for everybody. It's going to help mitigate trash, not entirely delete it. There's still going to be loads of trash in here. Okay, we're going to start by adding a plant here and here. And then as we expand the team, we'll probably have to move these and put them somewhere else. In fact, I can probably just do that now because I know the team is going to be expanded in the same way there. Why don't we... do we want windows right now? I can add a couple windows just to do it, you know? Give them something nice, right? Give the guys a couple windows there. Okay, cool. Fire protection, check. Clocks, bookcase, check. Founder, check. The desks. So some of these guys are going to be programmers, designers, others are going to be artists. And I think probably what I want to do is get a really kick-ass audio artist, because I'm already a good 2D artist, so they can complement my weakness there. And then on top of that, I think because my weakness in development, I have a little bit of system here, but really what I need is audio people, right? Audio people complete me. So that's what I need. So when we complete this, or when we get a new team, which I'm going to do, I think probably in September, maybe. I think I'll probably do it. We'll get them in here. And then before the end of the year, I need to basically blow all the money I can, because that will help me in not having to pay a whole lot of taxes. And then I'll basically just owe the fee for not filing on time, but I won't have to pay the taxes. So that's what we want to do. Like before the end of the year, spend, invest, build the building even bigger, right? So that is the end of the day once the founder goes home. She just got on the bus. So we have no contracts I want to accept today. So let's zoom ahead to the next day here. It says we had a loss because we invested a lot in construction, $93,000 in construction. But this building is a lot bigger than it used to be, right? That's good. We're building this up. Now, as we get another team, there's another thing we're going to want to do, and that is to get a server. We're going to want to get an SCM so that all of our stuff can be synchronized as we work. And I'm going to build our SCM downstairs. I'm actually going to take a staircase and place it right here. We're going to drop it down below this point here, about there. We have to have a downstairs before I can do that, though. So I'm going to really quickly do this as a very tiny basement. Actually think it needs to be just a tad bit bigger, otherwise it won't work. So we'll go like that. So a little basement there. Then we're going to get our stairs, and they can go right here. No, right here. Yeah, they're going to go right there is fine. All right. Now we have a staircase that goes down in that level. There's nothing down here yet, but there eventually will be. It's really quick. Just, I don't like how it's like in the center here. I want to have this be out just a little bit more. And then why don't we give them a light down here just so we can see what the heck's going on, yeah? And then just so the fire department's happy, although I don't think this is really necessary right now, but there is a light here, and the lights are technically flammable, right? So let's have a smoke detector and one of these. $47,000 left. And you know what? I think I have enough money now because I'm doing contracts anyway. Why don't we just complete this? So we're going to put a table right here in the corner. And then on this table, we will add a server. So right here, we want this small server. It's $2,000, 50 megabits per second bandwidth capacity. It's a nothing burger, but it's enough to be our SCM. So if we head back upstairs, and when we go and accept these contracts now, we should see the option to add an SCM. And this wants more programmers. Let's get see how it wants 2 designers and 2 programmers. This is $20,000. So we could totally do that one. Graphics API, right? As long as we can do these ones every day now instead of just the little ones, then the employee will pay for themselves. That's what I'm looking to do. So this is episode 1. We're going to start expanding the team now in episode 2, which I'm going to post immediately after this one. So if you're watching this on the day of release, check the channel again. You probably got a second video. And if you like this, of course, like it, subscribe, do all those things. It really helps it out. I am gonna love playing this game again. It's really in a good place right now, and I'm looking forward to finally making games instead of, you know, Photoshop and operating systems and things. I'm gonna stay away from operating systems if I can this time around. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you. We'll expand and go really in depth with it as we go. All right. See ya. Bye.